ladies and gentlemen and germs and everything in between and beyond. It is I, Raptor or Nuclear Rooster or Angel, and I'm here to present why you should play Buster. So here's some standard info about Buster. The most important part about his kit, in my opinion, is that he has a fast walk speed. Sure, he's a tank, but he functions very well in conjunction with his fast walk speed as well as his stats and abilities. So he has a large health bar. This is a pretty sizable health bar in comparison to other tanks even. It's definitely towards the top of the highest health in the game. His auto attack does a lot of damage close up, and it can even do a little bit of damage if you're trying to finish off a enemy from like a medium range. His super reflects projectiles, which is really nice, but it also does 1600 damage per projectile reflected, which in a lot of ways can win you fights as well as finish off enemies. And then his trait, he charges super meter when in range of teammates. So when you're walking a lane, especially, just try to go near one or two of your teammates because it is multiplicative. All right, and then we're looking at his gadgets now. So, in my opinion, his best gadget by far is the slow-mo replay. So basically, this is the one where Buster's next auto will pull enemies towards him. This is like really nice because that little bit of CC brings the enemy closer to your team, allowing for comboing or just execution. And a lot of times he can even just execute people by himself because his large pool of damage. He can make the enemy drop the ball in Brawl Ball, and then it's very good for repositioning in fights. So you can basically pull someone into a spot they don't want to be in. So yeah, the utility belt one, I feel like is less useful. If you've ever played Buster, you know that his supercharge radius is pretty small, and all this gadget does is it heals your teammates in a small radius around you. So it's useful, but the problem is the radius is small, and Buster wants to play forward and like create picks more than he wants to just stand next to his teammates. And then, all right, we're on a star power. So Kevlar Vest, in my opinion, is the better star power. So it has to do with his super. So when his super is active, he takes 10% less damage and is immune to CC. So that means, bam, you can turn it on. A lot of times it can save you from death. It can help you charge forward or even help your team charge backwards, right? It negates enemies' autos and supers. So if you see a Colt or any other person just spam heavy with their autos, bam, put up your little wall. They can't do anything. Waste the enemy's ammo, and then you have a very big opening. I've noticed that it destroys Jessie's turret really easily. So anytime Jessie throws her turret down in a place where it can die, all you got to do is throw up Buster's ult, and the turret will just kill itself because it keeps autoing even though it's getting hurt by itself. And then it provides some survivability for him as well. And again, as well as his teammates by creating space. His Blockbuster star power is interesting, but again, it has to do with his supercharge radius, which is pretty small. So it gives him 15% more damage for each ally in his supercharge radius, which means that could be a 30% increase in damage. But that means his team needs to form a death ball and kind of group together. And there's a lot of characters that can take advantage of that. But if you're able to build a composition with maybe your friends or even just your team, this can work out. If your team is really lacking damage, like really bad, you could try this, but I still recommend the Kevlar Vest because it's more useful in more scenarios. You'll have more consistent usage. So his gears, I recommend using the gadget charge. His slow-mo replay, the one that pulls in, is really, really nice, and I think it is one of the best gadgets in the entire game. So having an extra charge of that makes it way more possible for Buster to just snowball your entire team to a lead. And then for his second gadget, I think the speed one is nice. It gives you a 15% increase in speed in bushes. So that means he can get into position fast. He can get in spaces to like prepare his gadget usage. And he can just create more pressure more quickly and be a damage threat for your team. So both of these gears in conjunction help him do what his role is, which in my opinion, is an aggressive tank. And in conclusion, he's a fast character with catch potential. Like I said earlier, his walk speed being fast is incredible. It helps a lot. And then your super counters projectiles and protects team. So again, this theme of providing utility for your team, both CC and protection, and just creating space. He can act as a glue piece for many compositions. If you have any teammates that can combo off your gadget or even just utilize the space that you give them, it's a very big game changer, and he can really like round out teams. And then he provides threat and creates space for your teammates. So again, he can charge at people, he can catch them, he can finish them off. He has a lot of threat potential, and he will create so much space for your teammates that they'll be able to take advantage of that space and just do whatever they want safely. So, yeah, in conclusion, that's why you should play Buster. And yeah, keep rocking and keep being nice to everybody and be the best you can be and always believe in yourself.